Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bitcade. It is, well, we're recording this in 2020, but where you're listening to this, it's back in 2021 now, or forward in 2021. My name is Ryan E. Moore. Joining me, like always, is
Ashton.
And joining us as special guest is
You're Tyler.
Yeah, Pluviio himself. He is here. He is ready to go, hopefully, yeah?
No.
Okay. It's a new year. It's a new year by now. What do you want to say to your future self now that you're like, it's 2021? Would you say?
Get more sleep, dumbass. That's
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
I thought you said get more pussy and ass. I was like,
We're on that type of time too, but that's not this podcast. I was like,
That's for the next episode.
how to get women 101.
Who's leading that course?
Oh my God. We're already kicking it off. It's like we never left. Yeah, it is it's back, man. And we took a very big long hiatus. But I think, we had to focus on some stuff, reestablish ourselves, especially when Mixer went down. We had to kind of rebrand a little bit just to kind of go with like, what are we going to do? And I think Ashton, I think we did a pretty good job switching over to Twitch over the last couple of months.
Oh yeah. We're doing our shit. We're fine.
Mm-hmm. So we're back and trying to make more YouTube content again. The podcast is back. It will be starting to be posted as audio forms as well. So in this episode, we will be talking about Game of the Decade. Yes, I know we were going to try and finish that in by December, but hey, you know what? We made it to here, and we've established what games are representatives for each of the game, and then we will talk about what we chose as the representative of Game of the Decade. The PT Awards, like we traditionally do, we have awards such as the PT Plays Award, which is the video, the PT Plays video that did the best last year in 2020, PT Video of the Year, Happy Accident, Brown Star Award, Hall of Fame, Game of the Year. It's all going to happen in topic number 2. And then in topic number 3, we're just going to talk about 2020 itself. We took a couple months off, so we could recap 2020 and then talk about some 2021 highlights that we are hoping for. So, yeah, let's go into it. First topic.
Yeah.
Game of the Decade. Are you ready for this? I feel like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read off all of them here, and then you can talk about some of the, you both can talk about how you feel about all of these games as the representatives, and then we'll hone it back into what we've narrowed down to, and then deciding which game will be it. Does that sound okay?
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 2010, Red Dead Redemption. 2011, Minecraft. 2012, Diablo 3. 2013, GTA 5. 2014, Destiny. 2015, The Witcher 3. 2016, Dark Souls 3. 2017, Fortnite. 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2. And 2019, The Outer Worlds. And those are so we chose a game to represent that year to compete against all of these other games as what would be representing the decade of 2010 to 2019. That's what we've chosen. Ashton, how do you feel about the games we picked so far in this lineup here?
I like most of them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a good start.
Yes, I've played most of them. I don't know, a lot of them are pretty solid. I mean, a lot of them age pretty well too. So they're pretty good competitors for Game of the Decade. So it's pretty interesting. It's gonna be close competition.
Do you want to explain what we did for 2018 and 19 as the people are probably frantically trying to figure out where those lost episodes went?
What did we do?
We didn't record those. We just decided those off camera. But like how we kind of determined them, I guess.
I mean, just like every other game that we did, right? We just looked up all the games that released through the year and fucking narrowed it down to one.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this the one where we did the Final Four?
we'll get to that in a second. But your honorable mentions here that you chose for 2018, I'll see if you want to elaborate on them, was Warhammer 2 Vermintide,
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, God of
Mhm.
War, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, Forza Horizon 4, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good games right there. I only just recently started playing Vermintide 2. Super fun. Haven't played DLC or anything for it yet. But I might do that. Sea of Thieves. Um, I haven't played any of the new content, but I mean, it gets new content like every quarter. So, I mean, that's pretty sick. And it has the best looking fucking water in any game I've ever seen. Still, also seeing that in a high frame rate is just fucking sex for your eyeballs. Um, Red Dead 2, fucking amazing game. I mean, everything on there is pretty goddamn good. Yeah.
Now, so mine was Sea of Thieves, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Um, and obviously, we linked up on God of War. And the interesting thing is, we actually gave that Game of the Year in 2018, but we have decided that Red Dead Redemption 2 has now been the like initial representative of that game. So we've changed. Now obviously we won't take away our Game of the Year. That award is locked in for God of War, but since then we have played Red Dead Redemption 2. So why did you feel like that should have been the representative of 2018?
Hmm.
As
I
you
mean,
yeah.
for Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
I mean, the game is just fucking beautiful. It won awards for its scores, which is like the music. Um, it's visually breathtaking. The kind
You're
of story is like
breathtaking.
pure breathtaking. Um, I mean, the story is really good. It had kind of meh multiplayer, but I mean, you don't really play that game for the multiplayer. It's kind of like Last of Us having multiplayer. Like, you don't really play that game for the multiplayer, but
Mm-hmm.
it's there. Um, I mean, Red Dead 2 is just like a solid fucking game. It was solid on launch, so it's pretty pretty good, pretty good. You just kind of have to go with it. I mean, it pretty masterful game. It's quite honestly, minus the multiplayer, it is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Tyler, I'm curious to know,
Mhm.
based on some of those games that I've read off, I can read a couple more off if you want, but was there anything that that also stood out to you in 2018, or was there you think that those games were selected?
I think those games that were selected were like done like beautifully. Like two powerhouses, God of War and Red Dead 2. Like oh, you can't top that for that year. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's tough competition to beat. So I think the selection of games you guys like narrowed it down to were perfect actually.
Now you off camera were talking about God of War being still really good too. I'm curious to know like what the to get more for God of War to get that fighting chance as well as not just us like leaving it in the dust because I've played some of it, but like when I finished Red Dead, so how do you feel about God of War being a pretty close second for the representatives there?
Oh, I like we were talking off camera. I obviously feel like it's like the shit for that year, but
Mm-hmm.
I could see it like being I can understand it being outdone, but I personally I feel like it was just like it really stood out that year to me. I feel like the story was done very well. Also like the twist towards the end, if you beat it, I ain't gonna say nothing. But if you beat that part, you like what the fuck is going on? And I think it's like it wraps up what we were used to, like when we were younger. Well,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's I understand it why it's there.
Okay, yeah. And like I said, we gave it Game of the Year back then, and as well as it being, the leader of that year. And a lot of people did give it Game of the Year. I think IGN did it, and I think the Game Awards did it. Yeah, we just kind of followed suit because I think that was kind of what we agreed upon and of what we all kind of played. And I think it just kind of fit that year on the nose. And then when I finally got the time to play it, Red Dead Redemption 2, that definitely has taken over for I think that was definitely a 2018 solid contender of. But I think a lot of people, it being a longer game, a more of a sandboxy game, it's kind of how you make it sort of thing. And it's a Wild West theme, so it's kind of slow, and I could see that kind of not hitting a lot of people's boxes, checking them off and things. But I mean, for me, I think that was it. And I think, Ashton, I don't want to speak for you either, but that might be some of the reason why you forwarded into being the representative for that year as well.
But having, in terms of nostalgia?
Of just more of checking boxes that you kind of of it was a good story. It was, I mean, do you like the Wild West games and things like that?
I mean, Wild West is actually not one of my favorite settings personally. Usually it's pretty drab, but I really like the Red Dead series. Actually, it goes back for me all the way back to the PlayStation 2 when Red Dead Revolver was a very different fucking game than the Red Dead Redemption series. But I don't know, it just kind of breathe life into an otherwise what I feel is kind of a drab time period. It's just kind of meh to me. I'm not really into the westerns; they're boring. But the way Red Dead is able to kind of encapsulate that and make it way more rich than that you'll see in movies and other things, it's just really well done. It's just a good game's a good game. You can not for example, space games, but I mean, if there was a masterpiece of a space game, everybody's gonna like it, even if they don't like the setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that goes into definitely that expresses a lot too for Red Dead Redemption 2 to bring life into a game genre that isn't looked at as much. So, moving on though, so that kind of summed up 2018 and why we picked Red Dead Redemption 2 as the representative. 2019, jumping into that, Ashton, your representatives was Blair Witch, Gears 5, Jedi Fallen Order, and sorry, I did shorthand. Oh, The Outer Worlds. Sorry. So you had Blair Witch, Gears 5, Jedi Fallen Order, and The Outer Worlds. Anything you want to touch on that, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing. Outer Worlds the only reason that it did not get Game of the Year at the Game Awards is because of one bug that they had that halted your progression in the story, but it was fixed within 2 months.
Yeah, yeah. And then in mine, it was pretty much the same list, a little difference here and there. But Resident Evil 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Blair Witch, Control, and The Outer Worlds. I didn't even really play Call of Duty Modern Warfare back in 2019. I've only just started playing that this year, so I crossed that one off. Blair Witch I played this year, and it was really, really good. And I played that on stream on twitch.tv/primal_target. And Resident Evil 2 was a great remake, absolutely phenomenal, beautiful looking remake. From the ground up, they built that game, and it just shows that the RE team is no hold bar revived. And you were talking about breathing life into a genre. I think the fine people making the Resident Evil games have definitely breathed life back into that franchise. I can't wait for Village. I played Resident Evil 7 because I beat Resident Evil 2. It's just Resident Evil, I think, it's just gotten to that next step of hey, we saw you guys weren't liking what we were doing, so we've just redone all that and we're fixing all the shit that we fucked up on. And that to me is you're listening to your audience, you're making a franchise amazing again, where it was before, and if not, I think they're actually surpassing where they were at. And just absolutely great game. And then
they're making quite the comeback.
Yeah. But yeah, we narrowed it down, and The Outer Worlds was the decision that we chose because we did give that Game of the Year last year, and I still think to this day, 2019, that was the best game that came out, just based on it. Obsidian did a great job. It's funny. It plays like a video game. The decisions, though it does lack in the sense of like affecting you, I think that it's a great. You can see the potential that Obsidian can do with just the game that they created, and I can't wait for Outer Worlds 2 if that
With
is ever coming.
not also not a lot of funding, might add. It was a
Mhm.
AA game, not
Yeah.
a AAA production.
Yeah, and
So-
and yeah, what will happen now that Microsoft's cutting checks? Who knows? That game is
No, they're gonna be AAA for sure.
yeah. So yeah, that was why Outer Worlds was decided for 2019. Tyler, was there any games that I do have a couple others that were listed here? Kingdom Hearts 3 also came out that year. Sekiro. And so what were you feeling for 2019?
2019, my big game for 2019, honestly, when I say I had the most fun with was Fallen Order. Personally.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I didn't beat it. I mean, to be honest, I dropped it for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, but Fallen Order was like the shit because you get like that childhood Star Wars feel, but then to add like the level of difficulty that we never seen before coming out of a Star Wars game being like Star Wars mixed with some Dark Souls, because that's the heavy vibe I got from it, was like really fun. I got my ass beat a lot, you know.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm pretty sure you were the one stuck on a fucking frog for like the longest time. And, like,
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, it wasn't me though. I think we played on Switch.
I was playing the master though.
I don't know who fucked up you do that. I don't do that. I was out here chilling. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't that hard. But that was my game for 2019. Now I think I'm about to re-download that shit right now. We about to.
It is free on Game Pass. No plug for that, but hey, you know what? There it is.
That was my game though. That it's nice.
Yeah, I still have. I mean, I have that game. I bought that game. I've not given it the proper chance it deserves. And as a Star Wars fan, I probably should go back and play it. The other thing is I got to go back and play like Force Unleashed and all that shit. Like I have all these Steam Star Wars games, and yeah. But yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is definitely one I got to go back to.
Force Unleashed is a part of that like EA merger with Game Pass.
I don't think so either, but I do have I did buy them. So
I did beat them. They were fun.
Yeah, I hear there's rumor for a third, but more on that later.
No.
More on that later. Anyway, okay, so cool. Outer Worlds was the 2019 representative. That is the quick recap of that. Let's talk about this little off-camera tournament that we ran here. So we essentially, I'm just gonna blow right through this. Ashton, you can kind of explain the final four here in just a minute. But so what happened was we took essentially the games and we put them in this little narrowing down and whittling it down tournament. And what happened was Red Dead Redemption went against Minecraft. We just had to give Minecraft that because remember, this is a game that has to define the decade of 2010 to 2019. That's the whole premise of what we did here, and we feel that Minecraft just needed to move on. Diablo 3 versus GTA 5. It was really no competition right there. GTA 5 had to go and move on that one.
Yeah.
Destiny versus The Witcher. I conceded to what Ashton was saying, mainly because he had more experience with Destiny, and he still gave it to The Witcher. So that was there you go. Dark Souls versus Fortnite. It would probably be a cardinal sin if we didn't give Fortnite this shot. So Fortnite did move on past Dark Souls 3, which is what we had it going against. And also it was The Witcher 3, and that was the first Destiny, just so that if anyone's keeping score at home. Red Dead Redemption.
I'm glad you told me that, 'cause that's a fucking sin, my guy.
Red Dead Redemption 2 went against The Outer Worlds, and we just had to give it to Red Dead Redemption 2. As much as we love the Outer Worlds, it just had to move on.
One was just better made. It hurts.
So I'm gonna explain this last part. You can explain the final four, Ashton. But so we had The Witcher face Fortnite. We had to move Fortnite on. Red Dead Redemption 2 got the bye, and then we had one final matchup, which was Minecraft and GTA 5, and we just had too much to talk about on what we should decide, that we just let that one slide, and we have moved on to 4 final games, and we are going to tell you what we feel personally of this. But Ashton, do you remember the 4 games?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool. Go ahead.
the 4 games that we're having a tough time deciding on and agreeing on, and we haven't told each other which one is our personal favorite. We're actually going to be going with our personal favorites here. We're going to kind of reveal it. So this is just personal opinion. This is not even agreed upon. We're just going to tell each other the first time which of these 4 games that we actually like the most, that we define for ourselves, is going to be it. So these final 4 games.
Do you want to hold on? Sorry to interrupt, but do you want to explain why we've kept them into the final 4 as kind of like a lead up?
Yeah, because
Okay,
we
cool.
were unable to.
I mean, not that of
decide
like each game, like the specifics of it. Why,
we-
like, kind of like.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. We can do
Okay,
that.
cool.
But the four games,
Mhm.
it's gonna be Fortnite, GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe,
Mhm.
and then what was it? Did I say Minecraft already?
I don't think you did. No.
So Minecraft.
Mhm.
So Fortnite, Minecraft, GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are the 4. Those are the final 4. Those are the ones that we picked for the 4 most defining games to us, anyway, of this decade. Now we haven't kind of gone into like discussing with each other what ones that we personally picked. So we'll do that here in a minute. But I guess we should explain why each one is there. I mean, Fortnite. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It has been a hit and continue to be a hit. This fucking weird phenomenon for a game that didn't even start out as a BR that turned into a BR. And it just did insanely good. Like,
Wait. When did they? I never heard Fortnite was always a BR.
no,
No, it was supposed to be a almost a Minecraft clone sort of thing, but that was what they said before. It was like a Minecraft shooter
PvE
is what
thing,
they
yeah.
and then they were like, yeah, it's a PvE, you face zombies and like you build, and that was like world end or whatever they call it.
Save the world.
Save the world, that's what it is. And that was the official Fortnite game. And then they
that was
added
out for like months.
Yeah, and then they added the BR thing, the battle royale part, and then that's what took over, and now no one cares about the actual real Fortnite, and they've made so much money on a free.
You must are talking about what the idea to keep it as, because when that game, like when that shit hit like consoles, like I was playing battle royale.
Oh yeah, no, that was already it had already defined that the battle royale part was an add-on on that, but originally, yeah, it was just Fortnite Save the World or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of fell ass backwards into that.
Yes.
Thing. That was not what they intended to happen.
Which is crazy. It's just
yeah. Imagine just being that lucky.
That is fucking the 2017 crazy. Representative too. Just
yeah.
One wants to know.
So I mean, there's that, and then we can talk about Minecraft. You know, it's been here forever. It seems like
2011.
2011, huh? And you know, it gets. I wouldn't say regular updates on console, but you know, it's every. I feel like every year it gets an update.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. Like in terms of content and like making changes to the world. I mean, they'll have like bug fixes and stuff they'll throw in.
Definitely seems like it happens a lot more frequently now that Microsoft owns them and the whole shebang on that. So
yeah, so I mean, you know, it's stayed relatively, you know, popular. You know, everybody knows what it is. You know, even people who don't play games know what Minecraft is, right? People still play it. I mean, even new people play it. Like kids are still playing that. Like new kids getting into gaming or playing Minecraft, and older people as well. You know, for nostalgia or like doing creative stuff. You know, people make like crazy stuff on there. They spend hours upon hours and hours doing like replicas of other shit.
Plus, it's also like crossed over into other games like Smash and all these other types of stuff that it's now he's defined, like Steve has defined itself into being like a culture icon of that game, which is crazy.
So I mean, it's pretty popular. I mean, I think PewDiePie was doing some streams of it this year. Jacksepticeye was also doing some streams with it. I mean, there's still streamers and content creators alike are still supporting it as well. So it's still very alive to this day. And they're actually working on a major graphics update, the super duper graphics update or whatever it's called. It's going to have ray tracing and 4K and shit for consoles. So that's pretty sick. So that's the reason why it's in there. It has longevity and replayability. Hasn't died. Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, kind of spoke about this a little bit earlier. I mean, it's pretty much a masterpiece minus the multiplayer. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. I mean, it's just overall an amazing game. And it's, yeah, I mean, it's really all you can say. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a really amazing game. And then GTA 5 came out in what, 2013?
Yes.
That game just has evolved and evolved and evolved, and it has free content updates, it seems like, all the time. They have not stopped supporting that game. They just had another update where they added a new island.
Yeah,
for you to
I
go
don't.
visit.
I don't think I remember any like update quite like the one that just recently happened for
Yeah.
us. You know, who knows what happens in a month.
I mean,
or
they
so,
had
but-
that casino update. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh
they
yeah, I
had
guess that was map defining.
earliest
too, okay.
update they had was the heist update, and then they had casinos. They had like biker club. They have nightclub. They have all kinds of stuff going on. It seems like they're always putting something more into that game every couple of months.
Mhm.
Which is crazy to me. It's
Okay.
just awesome. But like,
Yeah.
there's so much to do in that game. You literally would have to spend so much time in that game to even like get all of it done. Like, it's insane. And the
So-
story is really good too.
So, Tyler, how do you feel about the final four here? You got your overall before we get to like your official answer of what you would choose for this. We got Minecraft,
No, what do
GTA
you mean?
5
I gotta choose out of the four.
out of the
Or I
four.
just-
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Read them off again.
So we got Minecraft representing 2011. We have GTA
Okay.
5 representing 2013. We have
Okay.
Fortnite representing 2017, and we have Red Dead Redemption 2 representing 2018.
I'm tired of seeing Minecraft. I enjoy that game a lot, but it's like, shit, it gotta die at some point. Like I mean, I'm thinking about going and playing it recently because I know it's getting an update next summer. It's like caves and some shit.
Mhm.
They have stalagmites or stalactites, whatever the fuck you want to call 'em.
Maybe both.
Yeah. But it's not a bad pick. Like I said, I just don't personally. I don't play Fortnite. I don't care for it. I mean,
Mhm.
we went back to play it, over there on Primal Target Twitch. Follow it. We chill over there. It's alright. Like it got its moments.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think like that dude who we had to kill him by shooting out his walkway. He was like 30 feet in the fucking sky.
Yeah.
Body right into the lake. That I don't know what to say. Because these games like GTA and like Minecraft, like you want to see them like move on. I mean, like you want something else to take the spot, but then like as Asher was saying, they just get content updates after content updates, and they're not really. They hitting. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like they doing what they need to do. Like GTA just released the last update like last week. Last major content update was last week. That's probably not the last for the game because Rockstar keeps saying we're not going to support this game anymore. But they probably realized online wise, Red Dead 2 was a failure.
Yeah, and
And that-
then they always
Yeah.
keep saying I can't remember what Rockstar dev said it, but I think they've been quoted saying like the only way GTA 5 is gonna be like ever given like we have to kill it. We have to kill it. Like the Rockstar
that-
crew has to kill it in order for people to move on.
I feel like they've been trying to do that, like with like if you play online, like I did, with, like the OP shit they put in there that's heavily catered towards pay to win style, like some of these weapons, some of these vehicles. I hearing that makes me think they've been trying to do that for a long time, but they don't because you put these things in the game and then people want to play it more so you can get those things and be assholes like everybody else.
I mean, it is the top grossing game of all time, still, I think. So
Yeah, because it's like how can you beat that? It's and when people like just quickly like what we were talking about, like I think it was Nathan was talking about like how Red Dead Online's like multiplayer like, it was gonna be good. I was like, no, it's not. And he was like, why? Because Red Dead you're confined to a time period. GTA you're not. Why the fuck do you think we have hover bikes in GTA? Because this is modern times. You can do whatever you want, but you can't like put a car in a western.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work. So
I
feel like
mean, they could have Technically,
Yeah,
they
they
did a
can't.
Back to the
They,
Future
yeah, they can have
crossover.
like a little buggy. It has to be like a little buggy or something.
Oh, they could do a buggy, but I was thinking more like a
Oh,
DeLorean.
like real. Oh my god.
Get the licensing. They got the
I'm a-
money.
That
They
would
got
be
the
such
money
a
to do
Back to
it.
the Future. That would be
I'm
Back
a
to the Future.
little surprised they don't have a Back to the Future reference in that game.
Who
It was a
knows?
missed opportunity.
Who
for
knows?
Sure.
Honestly, there's Easter eggs
Nah,
in
it
that
would-
game
it
that
would-
have
it would've
not been
got-
found yet. So,
It would have gotten found. Nah.
I mean,
But
they're still
they-
finding Easter eggs in GTA 5. So,
But they keep on adding them. I feel like you about to maybe download Red Dead and just go look. But I feel like we're all tapped out on Red Dead. But no, I think like I said, you would like to see GTA and Minecraft moved on, but the updates are putting out very solid, so you can't really argue with that. Game getting content, who doesn't love that, you know? And if it's good, it's good. You can't be mad at it. Fortnite, of course, new kid on the block, doing very well for itself. Even though like people say, like personally, like we said, I don't like it. You can't deny what it's been doing for a
Yeah.
while, right? You can't shame and be like, it's ass, but hey, it could be ass to you. But it's these collabs with it just like the fucking like Master Chief just dropped. I just seen on my
Kratos.
phone. Yeah, Kratos just dropped. I seen on my phone they trying to put Green Arrow in the game, like the Green Arrow from like
from the
like-
Arrowverse.
yeah,
I mean,
like
they got Master Chief in there now too. So
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, and then also the newest update as of right now when we're recording this is Captain Marvel and Black Panther have just been in. By the way, that intro for Black Panther would make you cry. That's a heart-wrenching one right there.
I think I might look at it right now.
Yeah.
But I'm keep on talking,
Mhm.
but I'm be looking it up. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty good.
you can't downplay what they've done, and they've kind of set the precedent. I mean, I'm pretty sure Fortnite is the reason why Destiny 2 had a live event, which the Destiny 2 live event was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of crazy about how that game is like they have premieres, they have trailer drops, they have concerts, they have all this licensing from Disney, they have all this licensing from DC. It's like it's so weird that you could play a game with the Joker and Wolverine. Like what the fuck other game would you ever do that in? It's insane. It's insane of what Fortnite has become. And yeah, I mean, obviously us three don't really play it, and I was waiting. The reason why I was streaming it on Twitch for a little bit was because I was waiting for Warzone to get updated, but and to fill that kind of gap. But the thing is like it is. I think what you both have said and what we've said in the past is it's just respecting the game of like what it has become. It's this last generation's Pokemon, honestly, to me, and I never thought I would admit to it, but I think it really has become a cultural phenomenon. Now, whether or not it lasts for 5 to 10 years, like how Minecraft or Pokemon or all these other games have, I'd be curious to know. But I think they've got the longevity for it. I think they should treat their devs a little bit better, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But yeah, so I think it's come down to. My opinions of it are I've kind of said over the time is like Minecraft is definitely just this. It's lasted. I think it's Legos for the digital generation, and it's clearly proven itself. Based on like, when I try to go back to Minecraft, it's almost like it's a new game every single time because I usually am off like for 2 to 3 years, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pop back in, and then I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm just building a castle out of blocks again. And that's all I know how to do. But everyone's like, why don't you enchant your sword? I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Then there's GTA 5, which is just a phenomenal campaign, a phenomenal online. And yeah, the fact that they added a DeLorean in it obviously gives, tugs at the heartstrings a little bit for me. But it's such a good game. And I think that there's like, it's a good video game. Like, to me, that is what it is. It is do whatever you want. Here's a controller. Fuck off for like an hour. I guarantee you'll have a different experience than person B, C, and D. Like you could have so many different ways of doing things of what you want to do. Like one person may like the campaign, one person may like the racing in GTA, which is become super popular in the GTA community, which is why some people are now defining a tag on Twitch as GTA is a racing game now, which is insane because there's just so many cars and vehicles available. And obviously Fortnite I've kind of touched on with what I've already said, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 just has that such a cinematic video game. That's like, what would it be like if we could take a movie and adapt it to a video game and do it right? And Rockstar, as much as we have narrowed it down to putting 2 games from that company in this Final Four and trying to decide which one is so definable. Red Dead Redemption 2 is cinematically so good. And I think if a person that loves movies is to play a video game, this is the game I would give them because it's just so freaking good. And yeah, I think it's one of the best games that I've played ever in my life. And I've said that when I completed the game. I said that, and I'll say that till the end. So that's my little thing. So Ashton, I don't know if you want to like reel it back in and narrow it down to what you chose for your final. I wrote mine down, so I'm not cheating. I wrote mine down already. But go ahead. What
Yeah.
kick us off here?
For me, I'm gonna have to go with GTA 5, and the reason I say that is it was here at the beginning of the decade, 3 years in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I played that game. I don't even know how many days in terms of hours I played that game, but every time I would go and take a break from it, there would always be an update that brings me back in. Actually, I ended up buying that game twice because I had to buy it on the 360 and then I had to buy it on the Xbox One.
Yeah, it was just right at that cutoff of like the next gen, so you got to get a little dip there.
That is one of the very few games I bought twice and actually didn't even care that I had to spend extra money on getting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just utter chaos. You can just fuck around and do whatever you want. It's like an amazing sandbox, and it just evolved and got better and better over time. For me, out of these 4 games, I definitely enjoyed playing that one the longest. The most time played in that game, and I feel like to me it represents more of the decade as a whole than the other games do.
What about you, Tyler? What are you feeling?
I had to get to Red Dead.
Okay.
Personally, my first choice is Red Dead for sure. I didn't get to finish it, but story really good. It is cinematic. I don't know if you said that while we were talking or off stream.
I did a little bit, but yeah, you're good.
Yeah, just very cinematic. The world is nice. Characters are addicting. It's like that perfect, like, you got characters you like, you got characters you hate, and that's what like story just really needs to. You're not meant to like everybody, right? Somebody got to get folded. Yeah, definitely Red Dead out of those 4.
Okay. So I just want to say all of these games are fantastic, and then I do agree on a lot of things that Tyler said, but I also have to give it to GTA 5 as game of the decade. And
I'm not surprised. You said we were gonna be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the my thing about, because I talked so much hype about Minecraft, and I was like, but now thinking about it, and like when before off camera and stuff, and I think Ashton kind of said it, and I don't want to like reiterate the same things that he said, but it's definitely that I enjoyed it the most out of maybe not out of all these games, but definitely of that year. And then I have come back here and there to play it, and when you leave, you don't have to come back and feel like I'm so far behind. You're like, you can just pop back in and play for a little bit, because it's still the same game. And like I was saying in my little like brief statements of GTA 5, I think it's a 10 out of 10 game. It is a video game to me. Like, it's fun. There's video game aspects. It's ridiculous in some parts. It can be serious in some parts. The story is amazing. The online's amazing. And I just think, so unanimously, GTA 5 did get Primal Target's game of the decade. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that Tyler did give Red Dead Redemption 2. So that means Rockstar is our company of the decade, our publisher of the decade.
Yeah.
Because both of their games did get, even though that wasn't really a part of it, but still, Rockstar, yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, you're hype man.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I just think that it's so crazy how good those games that Rockstar puts out. And like, I fell in love with them with LA Noire, and then And then I played GTA 5 right after that, and just was like, there it is. This is what I wanted. And then Red Dead Redemption 2. It just, oh God, there's so much. There's cinematic shots that I actually like. That was when I actually took pictures in the game. Like, you know how when you can do the share button now? I literally did that in some parts because I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like, this shot is so cool. So yeah, Primal Target's game of the decade is Grand Theft Auto 5. There you go. All right. Any final words before we move on?
Nah.
Okay.
Nope.
We're moving on.